According to Mike Scotto of HoopsHype, the Charlotte Hornets are interested in trading one, if not both, of their first round picks. Rival executives who spoke with HoopsHype expect the Hornets to continue exploring the trade market for a player who can help immediately in talks for one of their true first round picks, number 13 and number 15. And it seems like they'd be willing to move both for an all-star caliber player. English is hard sometimes, guys. Like and subscribe for over 150 videos a month regarding every single NBA team, the NBA draft, and everything in between, and even a little bit of EuroLeague. We've been doing some EuroLeague news lately, ladies and gentlemen, because I just love basketball. Now, if you guys don't follow along, Shade on Sharp, Mark Williams, Malachi Brannan, Ochai Abaji, Tari Issa, Blake Wesley, Jaden Hardy, Marjon Beauchamp, Kennedy Chandler, Patrick Baldwin, Kendall Brown, Bryce McGowans, Max Christie, Trevor Keels, Wendell Moore, Christian Koloklu, Ismail Kamagate, and Andrew Nemhart are all the guys who are either borderline first-round picks or first-round talents that definitely will go in the first round that they have. More likely, Shade on Sharp, Mark Williams, Malachi Brannan, Ochai Abaji, Tari Eason, and Blake Wesley are their main targets. Even maybe Jaden Hardy. But as you guys can see, they're looking at wing help and guard help. And we know that, which also shocks me, that the only center that they've worked out is Mark Williams, which I personally think they will take more. If they stay at either 13 or 15, either Jalen Duren or Mark Williams will be available unless somebody trades up to take them. So they're going to definitely take a big man. What you guys have to understand is the Hornets have $109 million in committed salary, and that's probably going to go up with Miles Bridges taking probably $30 million, so they'll be over the cap. And there are some moves they can do. Maybe move Gordon Hayward, Mason Plumlee, maybe attach Mason Plumlee and one of the first round picks that they have. And if you guys don't know, Plumlee this season's making 9.2, similar money to Monte Morris, Royce O'Neal, Dario Saric, Nerlens Noel, which makes you think, would you trade a first round pick, Mason Plumlee, for Nerlens Noel? I don't know. I don't know if I would, but Jokic Poeltl, Mason Plumlee, and first round pick, I would kind of do that. But you could also look at guys like Seth Curry, Grayson Allen, DeAnthony Milton. I don't know if those teams will trade him. Michael Green was just traded. That's somebody they could be interested in. Cedi Osman, Zubac, Kobe White, a little bit cheaper, but there's also Larry Nance, Danny Green, supposedly the 23rd pick, and Danny Green. Would you trade Mason Plumlee straight up for the 23rd pick? And oh wait, yeah, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that if you're the Sixers. Why would the Sixers trade Danny Green in the 23rd pick for Mason Plumlee? That's a terrible deal. And I literally said it. But maybe you could see, hey, would the Lakers take Mason Plumlee and the 15th pick for Talen Horton-Tucker? He's shown some flashes. I don't think that's terrible. You could also talk about packaging Mason Plumlee and multiple second-round picks for a guy like Terrence Ross. But I really think if they can bring themselves in a point guard, like, would you trade Mason Plumlee and the 15th pick for Monte Morris? I know his contract's expiring, but if you can get a verbal commitment that he'll resign, that could be interesting. I definitely think he could be a difference maker, especially for them. I would trade Mason Plumlee and a first-round pick for Jordan Clarkson. I think Jordan Clarkson could help them off the bench. But then you think, well, they have James Bouknight, and you're right, they do have James Bouknight. So I think that's an option that I don't know if it'd be the best. But there's a bunch of guys that they could. There's not like a hell of guys, but there's a decent amount of guys that they could look at. I wouldn't trade a first-round pick for Grayson Allen, but I'd trade Mason Plumlee and a few second-round picks for Grayson Allen. And it's just the money where they're at. Who's worth a first-round pick and attaching Mason Plumlee? I assume Mason Plumlee would be the main guy they trade if they don't want to trade P.J. Washington, Kelly Oubre, and it's very hard to trade Gordon Hayward. Though, if you traded Gordon Hayward, hear me out right here. Gordon Hayward currently is making $30 million. Would you attach Gordon Hayward in the 13th or 15th pick for a combination of salaries? Like, if you could take on, I don't even know what would be the proper, but what if you did Danilo Gallinari? Because Danilo Gallinari's salary is waivable. So if you cut him, you save $16 million. And the Hawks also have, if you look at the Hawks' salary, this isn't a bad deal. I think the Hawks are trying to move up in the draft themselves, so this could be a like a 3-team trade. So if they sent you Danilo Gallinari and maybe they package in there, if they somehow can package Kevin Knox, I know his contract's expiring, but Kevin Knox, Danilo Gallinari for Gordon Hayward and a first-round pick. I know that's terrible. That's terrible because the only reason the Hawks do it is because they want the first-round pick. This doesn't benefit the Hornets because you could argue they're cutting Gallinari. They're not going to bring him back, and Kevin Knox is horrendous. So that deal's not going to happen. Do you guys like how watching me just in live moment try to like figure out the rationale behind these deals? And it's hard. It's not easy. This is why I'm not a GM.